Good morning, Mamani. Morning, Joseph.
Good morning, Marcus.
Good morning.
Okay, I think everything. Morning, Rafael.
Good morning, guys.
We have 5 minutes to start. Joseph, Mamani, any question about last fields, last activity, attributes of activities? Anything different?
Yeah, this is Mamani. I've got one question. Just wanted to find out, could you please just demonstrate how you delete from the web the items you've placed on the web? How do you delete it?
Imagine if you have opening Spider. Mamani. If I have your work under updating and decide to, where's my mouse cursor here? And decide to upload, okay, I have showed to everybody my schedule and I received the information using download, but I want to delete this or a specific one subfolder. I know the subfolder I'm using is M000 ending with 2025. Okay. If I have finished with my work with this version, with this file, I may type its name here, and then I am able to delete from web. My screen?
Yes,
Max,
yes,
can you do it again? Just one time, please.
Okay, if you want to delete, if you are have uploaded this file M000 ending with 2025. I have uploaded. My partners gave them their information, their notes, their changes, their ideas, and after uploading, and they had helped me. I may download their information, the same screen. And after download the information, and the information in notes appears here for me, I decide to accept it or not, and then I may delete from web. Could you see my movements here? Delete, Gantt, delete from web.
Okay.
The activities without doing this in the Gantt.
That's our mission today. Today,
All right.
we're going into project planning. What's project planning? Oh, sorry, I have to back to first slide, not the last one. First, project planning. We are on net CPM floats and constraints. Please pay attention that you have 1, 2, 3 meetings to get our Gantt diagram. We had just 2 meetings to have our WBS, to understand what to do. On this 5th meeting, we are preparing our Gantt diagram. But at the end of this session, I think we will have your diagram, your Gantt diagram, and you'll be a bit happy. We talked about activities, its attributes. We estimated some target duration, but instead of saying how we do our projects, what we have to do and how we do, we start to understand when it will be finished, when it will be accomplished, because we are going to fix and model our constraints. The last meeting, we had this scene. a lot of fields that would help us to make our activities understandable. Type how many pieces, how quantity, which is the quantity, and which volume we are referring to. I mean, cubic meters. What means nose? What means nose, Joseph?
Which part, please? The notes?
Nose, no, have a unit of volume. 6 nose.
Ah, numbers.
Numbers, okay.
Sorry.
Numbers, a piece. So, unities. 6 units, 18 tons. There are unit of volumes here. And we talked about a lot of fields, characteristics of our activities. But today we must understand which constraints our activities. What block us to move on? What keep us not so fluid? What make us to have obligations or accomplish dates? And ASAP ALAP, it is familiar to you. Some activities must be made, must be conducted, and must be finished as soon as possible. No, to build a bridge and your intention, your goal is not defined. You want to be done, you want to have this bridge done as soon as possible, yesterday, not when it is possible, when we want when we finish, it will be okay. No, I have to plan it, schedule it as soon as possible. But you may schedule it as late as possible. Do you understand the difference? But I'd like you to give me some example. Which activity could we plan or schedule as late as possible? Start by Rafael.
Max, after sure. Can you confirm us that you are recording?
Yes, I am.
All right.
All
All right. I did this yesterday, and I put as late as possible for all my activities because I think it's how can I say, it's more productive to do with this the schedule. So with this strategy, I think it's how could I explain this? It's more effective, and the pressure can be a help us to do the job. When you do as soon as possible, probably you find the problems sooner. But when you already know the path, it's easier when you put as late as possible because of the pressure to do.
Okay, you don't want to have pressures on your work, but you may take all the risks you have when you start as late as possible. But Rafael, okay, Joseph, explain how could you ask a job? How could you ask somebody to make something for you and you expect that you don't want to have the results as you want, as soon as you can? Is it possible to schedule things as late as possible? If you want to pay, okay, you are going to pay something, so you probably will ask it as soon as possible, even for yesterday, because you want it quickly. Do you have any explanation to use as late as possible?
Okay. As late as possible. Let me see if I'll be able to get an example. So let's say we are building a road, okay? And then with the road, we need to install some street lights. Normally, these street lights come at the very end of the project, but during the progress, you have to be laying the ducts in preparation for the street light installation. So with this ducting works can commence at the beginning of a project, and then it can finish together with the project with the installation of the street light. So with that, I can say it can be as late as possible to the end of the project. It's not, I don't need it early in the project to do anything. So it can finish together at the end of the project. But when we are talking about as soon as possible, when you check my works, my project, for instance, the mobilization, that is the mobilization of the collaborators and then the site office should be done as soon as possible, because that's what is going to give way for the project to start.
Okay, I'm just laughing because in Brazil, the example that Joseph gave us, in Brazil, if you want to finish your street lights, you must schedule it as late as possible in order not to have Roberts. In order you have the lamp still there lighting at the end of your projects. Okay,
in Ghana is the same.
Okay, let's just stop joking and proceed with our intentions. Today, we have to talk about as late as possible and try to schedule everything as soon as possible. I don't want to pay somebody to make things for me as late as possible. But for you, that are executors, it's your problem. As late as possible takes off any floats, takes off any advantage, time advantage you could have. All the risks will due to your activity. But anyway, it's your choice. Try always to plan or schedule everything as soon as possible. There are some new fields you are going to deal with. Links, as Mamani, I think, asked at the beginning of our meeting, linking things or linking activities is the most intelligent part, is the most intelligent stage of our work. The first part of making the WBS is very easy. Everybody is able to understand what you have to do. But when you link things, when you schedule activities one after the other and together, that's the main expertise the planning professional must to their employees. And we are going to talk about linking as a chain, linking to a single activity or linking activity to a selected one, or delete every link between activities and some other actions in fields affairs. If I take Mamani is not Joseph. If I take Joseph's file, I see, is it that Joseph's file?
This is
Mamani. I'll take the version 4,000 here that I need something to show. I think it's Mamani's, and the first layout Mamani made.
Marcus, this is my work. This is Joseph's work.
Sorry, Joseph's. I was referring to Joseph's file. I took Joseph's file and started making some changes in order to show you today. Joseph made the 10 activities layouts, okay? We have, where is it? Here. Duration type, DH type, every field or every characteristics we talked last meeting. But for today, we must create a new layout because there are new fields we have to set, we have to complete, and it will be too crowded if you, there'll be confusion here, if you use the same layouts I will ask you please to create another layout for activities, but this time using different information. Activities to, not with these fields. We will start to include the complementary fields. Creation time. It's not a field for scheduling, but it's a field you must know in order to make a traceable schedule, a traceable plan. When you ask for creation time, creation
In
time.
order to.
Okay, you will see when the activity was created, but I cannot see the WBS time I created, the WBS elements, WBS structure, part or item. I don't know when it was created because it is not part of your schedule. It's just a classification. It's just a way to classify the activities. The most important parts are the activities. The most important part is the activity. So just activities have creation time. And you understand how this schedule was built. Not just to know who has done, who was responsible for creating by the logbook. I'm not talking about the responsible for changing your file, but to set clearly somewhere when the activity was created. We will keep this basic information, this priority name, but quantity, unity are always so important as their names. We must focus on quantity because we are responsible for producing some quantity in order to make some products or work package to finish with our and the the projects. We also have two sets of fields. ASAP, ALAP, okay, ASAP show columns, ASAP, ALAP, and in this specific case, I made all the activity, all Joseph's activities as soon as possible. Double click, ALAP, ASAP. It will be important when you calculate the schedule of your project time. Succeeding activities, preceding. Okay, another set of information. After ASAP, ALAP is preceding, a lot of precedings here. Well, okay, preceding activity and succeeding activities. Succeeding activities from finishing. Preceding activities to start. There are a lot of preceding things here, but we are just paying attention to these two ones. The layout will show us what we need to know first. Layout, save, current layout. Succeeding, preceding. You may note that blue cells are filled by calculation, so you cannot change it by yourself. Black font cells maybe allows you to change it, but if you find any blue font cell, It's just to show what it calculated. You cannot change it by your desire or by your own way. I think you may understand that. It is calculated, but not allowed to make you change it. The amount of days is due to your choice and due to our the date it will happen. You cannot fix the date it will start. Where does it start, finish? Start, finish. There are two columns. Start, finish. Starts, and finish. Finish. These are calculated because they are blue, and these are black because you can change it. But I mean, sometimes it will appear in another color, in blue color, and you want to change. I have changed it to 2050, November 2050. If you calculate again, the duration days was changes. So in this case, you may change here, and it will calculate a new duration here. But sometimes when you calculate, it will be blue. So you won't be able to change it because there are fields that are shown you as calculated fields, not free fields to fill. But we will talk about start and finish after finishing our schedule work. And our scheduling work is under filling some new fields, some new information. Proceedings, succeedings, they are a consequence of our linking floats, critical, calendar, and notes. Okay, Rafael?
Marcus, I tried to do the creation time yesterday, but it's not possible to put minutes and seconds. I also tried edit the configuration, but not was successful. Can you check this?
Okay, let's see. Double click.
No, creation time, not the start finish.
Okay, creation time. I'm not sure if it's possible to do what you want. Creation time.
But it's already show you that minutes and seconds.
Minutes? Seconds.
All right.
I will let it into minutes.
And another thing.
Did you see what I done?
Yeah, yeah.
Double, okay. Into seconds. Double click into minutes. Double click into seconds.
I will try here. Thanks a lot.
The second thing is there another thing?
Yeah, but I don't remember. Thanks.
Okay, make it down, write it down. Floats. You know, I understand you know what floats are. Free floats and total floats. Free floats, float free days, float total days, float free hours. But we use focus only in free floats, total floats, because we're talking about CPM, critical path methods. Later, I mean in the future, we will discuss our critical path. But now we don't have any resource here. We are going to talk about critical path. And the critical path method always invokes free floats and total floats. You see they are blue font here, so you won't change it. They are calculate fields from Spyder. You have to calculate it in order to have floats. I want to change my floats into H. No, you won't be able to change it because you don't not own this authority. The calculation shows you what do you have. Free floats, total floats, Mamani. Okay, say what do you think about it?
Yes, Marcus, when you come to the select fields to show the floats total, the floats total days reserved and float total days F reserved. What's the difference?
Float total days, total days, floats total days. There are
Mine is
floats,
two.
total days finish hours, which
No,
of them
mine,
you?
both of, there are two. They are all float total days, but one is in the code, one is reserved, and the other one is F reserved number of days. But they are all
Reserve.
floats. Yes, they are all floats total days.
I could not understand. What do you mean?
Let me see if I can take a screenshot and
Mhm.
paste it so that you. Let me see if I can post it in the chat. I'm posting it in Telegram.
Okay, let's see what it is. Downloading. 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 Downloading again. You are talking about some different fields or some new information or the information you gave it to it.
It's the same. They are both floats total days, but they are two. And I was just trying to find out the difference. Maybe one is something and hit probably, and one is a default.
I think no, my money. I have two as my in my spider. Them is the same. They both.
Yeah, there are two float total days. So I wanted to know the difference.
Okay, send the picture again because the picture is not happy to come.
Okay, let me send. Yeah, because I've sent again.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to download it.
It's not downloading. Which other way could you send the picture? By WhatsApp?
Let me try sending to you in email.
Okay.
Send and proceed. Reply.
While we're waiting for the picture, we'll proceed here, okay? Float
Okay,
free,
I'll send it to your
float
email.
total, okay? Float free, float total, and there is another one. Where is it? Critical calendar and notes. They are also, a calendar is also a constraint. It keeps your schedule under some special rules. A calendar, show calendar, and show if the activity is critical or not critical, criticality index type. We're just talking about critical. If it is, what is it? If it is critical, we'll have a special tag in the fields. In blue font fields. In blue font in the field. Here. In Joseph's file and Joseph's schedule, according to what I have done, these 4 activities are critical because they do not have any total floats. If you have floats, you're not critical. And if, according to our standards, if the activity is critical, it will be painted in red colors. If it's not critical, it will be painted in blue or a green one. Mamani gave us, here's the picture Mamani gave us. Floats, I understand what's that. Please look to what Mamani told us, no, it showed me. Mamani talking about F reserve. This name here is code. Instead of saying what humans understand float, total. But the machine prefers to be addressed by F reserved num days and free float days, F free reserved days, D. The difference, Mamani, is because name is what you most easily understand. And the code of the fields, the programming variable code field is called F reserved num days. The name of the fields in machine way of programming. Okay?
What of the next one? The next one also says float total days. The next one after that.
Okay, float total days is different. I will send you the book of floats. There are two main floats in CPM methodology: free floats and total floats. But in Spider, because resource constraints calculation, a lot of different metrics, a lot of different indexes is given in order to make much clever analysis. And float days, free reserved num days, and float total, they have this because the develop team did not pay the attention into it. But there is a difference. Float total it is different. They are different when you calculate RCP, resource method of calculation. But if you use CPM, float total, reserved D, and F reserved num day, because these num days here means the number of available days regardless the resource availability. Reserve D is just for CPM. Float total F reserved num days means number of days, total float, number of days less the resource availability. When you plan, if you consider availability of resource, you have total float according CPM. But if you consider it, you will have two different information for total floats. But we'll see this only when you talk about resource methodology or resource schedule methodology. That was clear for you, or I made some?
Yeah, it's clear. So meaning we are choosing for the CPM, we are using the reserved.
Yes. Anyway, these two values are the same when you use CPM that we are talking about now. But next week, I think we are going to talk about resources, and then
okay,
to be different. And you understand, I do not have a total float. I mean, I have 3 days of total float. No, I don't have 3 days of total floats. If I do not consider the lack of resource, okay, I have 2 days as a float. It's not critical. It's not critical. But if you consider resource availability, you don't have the resource for you to use in your schedule. You say, although it's written here 2 days, I do not have these 2 days because I do not have the resource to help me in these 2 days of total float. You see the difference considering resource availability and do not consider it. There is a great difference when you work without resource. Worries, you may be mistaken in your schedule. You'll be wrong with your idea of floats, risk, and float, risk, and flexibility. You won't have flexibility. If you see here, 9 days total floats. Okay, total floats. Where are the total floats? Total floats. Total floats. Floats total. Floats total. Days reserved. Floats total. Where's the other one? Okay. Float finish. Okay. They made the correction here. Your version has the same name. Your version has the same name for free reserved D and reserved thingy. Your version. Let's see again. Floats total, days, finish, floats total, finish, none. There are three total floats or floats total here. There's another one here, 4. But it will make sense just when you use resource constraint, resource availability scheduling. So working with resource is a higher degree of scheduling. You can work without considering work availability. But anyway, now we're talking about CPM, the most beautiful and well-known way of scheduling. And I told you, ZAP, preceding, succeeding, start, and finishing will be the last information you have. When you calculate things, these dates will be shown to you here. Okay, we have a set of new fields, and some of them are calculated, some of them you may set. If you see the blue font, a lot of information here is just an information. You cannot change it. But calendar is a constraint. Calendar A, let's talk about calendar. Calendar, view, diagrams, no, activities. Okay, calendar. If you remember Microsoft projects or Primavera, calendar are made by previous set of information. You have to have your calendar, you have to define your week of work week. And before, and not only having your weeks, you have to set your holidays and your exceptions. Instead of calling holidays, people use here called it exceptions. Finishing with this layout, I will preserve it, save it as our current layout 20. We have activities, hide it. We have activities. We kept start and finish here. I don't know why. And activities too. We could have all this information in just one layout, but I think it's better to split it in 2 different layouts to make it easier to be seen and to be adjusted. Okay, I prefer to make it clear. Hide on the right. Okay. So, not use it. To do not confuse Joseph when he's working on these layouts. No other fields to confuse Joseph here. Let's talk about calendars. Calendars, the first button here, calendar. Or you may go to the main screen, the main window, main window, calendar, weeks, calendar, etc. Weeks, double click, weeks. This is activity guns, this is weeks. Spider brings us week 8, blank week, and I think myself made a week 24. But this week is a standard one, 8 hours. Why people decide to work just 8-hour days, not working on Saturdays or Sundays. But I mean, this kind of week is a constraint. And this kind of week, I think Joseph has defined it, is not a constraint because people or activity may be produced, activity, not people, activity may be produced every time, every day, every week, the whole year. This week is a constraint because it keeps you stopping work after each 8 continuous hours. And you want to work on Saturdays and Sunday. A blank week is also a constraint. You do not work any day, any hour. As you define your week, commercial one, vacation one, and every day you may define or create your calendar. There is a standard calendar here. A standard calendar has a standard week. There's a blue one because you cannot change anything here. Just to inform you, you cannot change because it's blue. You have to go back to week table or week definition to make your calendar. You may have another calendar. I will insert right click on the head of line and insert new calendar A plus. I will use this week. No, I won't use this week. I have a calendar 24 hours a day, every week, every 7 days a week. And I have this calendar A. This calendar A, I want to work on Friday. But I'm working on Friday here because I'm using week A. That means 8 hours a week. So I have to produce a new week to make my calendar A plus correct. Okay, I will go to view calendars, control click, right side weeks, left side calendars. This week has a code A. I will say code commercial. Change the code, must be unique. Codes for blank week, I will say 0. And code for 24 hours, I will call it 24 hours. The codes. And I will make head of line, right click, new, week, plus. Plus. Week A plus. Week A plus. In order to fetch my calendar A plus. I will work 8 days, and here I will delete. I want to work on Friday, on Sundays, and Saturdays. And I can just, as well as the other, to manage, for project management, the span time, the range of time I will work. Okay, if I have a special week, my special calendar may choose a special week. (24 hours a day), week 24 hours a day. Calendar A, commercial week. Calendar A plus, I did not code it correctly. So, week A, commercial plus. Oh, it didn't like plus. So, commercial plus. Now, my week will be commercial plus, week A plus, for my calendar A plus. I think it's enough to understand how will you create a calendar by a special week, by some exceptions. Okay, double click on your calendar A plus. You will call a window, the property window. When you see a name, code B, okay, you say calendar, a special codes, calendar, and the nice name. Type, my type, I don't know. Which week I use? Week A plus, select. Okay, I may select a special week by auxiliary window. Instead of typing here, I may use auxiliary window here. You may note that if I choose select or choose week 8 plus, it fills here with the range of time, 8 hours a day from 8 to 16 without Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday. Okay, apply. That's a way to fill these line informations or by filling on a cell, on a specific cell. Exceptions. Which exceptions do we have? I don't know. I do not have any exception here. So view, calendar, exceptions, control presets, exceptions. I have New Year, Christmas, head of line, right click, properties, new exceptions. My birthday, birthday. When is my birthday? Double click. Instead of writing in its cells, I will use my property windows to help me. Very didactic here. Name, my birth, codes. When is my birth? Okay, from 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 second off, April 2. Till 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 second off, 3 of April. My God, 3 of April. Okay, so my birth lasts from 0 to 0. I mean, my birth is an exception that occurs for the whole day. Just one day for the whole day. Not the holiday, but the whole day. And is administered by a blank week. Another way, I will, according to this week, if April happens to occur on a Saturday or a Monday, okay. If it occurs on a Sunday, it will be blank week, no work anytime. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. But if I set for week A commercial, it will obey the rules of the week I choose. So you may be you have to be attention on this week selection. Another interesting thing, it occurs every year. My birthday occurs every year. And it will occur just 1 year. I think I will have 20 years of life yet. Okay, next 20 years, it will be a holiday or it will be an exception. Every year, every 20 years, no, every year, not from 2 and 2 years, not for every third year, no, every year. And you may color it, this exception in your Gantt diagram, but we will see it on Friday. Okay, this my birth exception occurs on here, a sign, here, a sign. Doesn't matter if you are using commercial day calendar, commercial calendar plus not working on Fridays, it doesn't matter. If you use your calendar, you have to celebrate my birthday. it will be an exception. I think it is enough for now to understand that the calendars must be set by your weeks, that also must be preset by your exceptions. You have to define exceptions, define weeks, to define your calendar, to apply it on your schedule. Rafael,
Marcus, making a link with the last class, we have activities, and when you put these holidays, how can how can the spider see the activity if it's making at the same date
that's a,
with uh, Saturday and Sunday?
that's a good question. If you plan your activity, Joseph, imagine that. If you are planning activities, there is no law, there is no rule, there is no standard that say to you, you have to create a specific calendar to it. All the activities are work to be done, and there is no law to forbid you to work every time, every second, every day. So imagine you should schedule or you should plan your activities according to hours a day, every day. But if I do this, all my work will be set, including Saturdays and Sundays. Yes, it will be. But I don't work. No, you don't work do not mean that the activity cannot be done. If you don't work and you are a resource inside your activity, make your resource calendar according to your commercial calendar, because you do not work. If you, Rafael, if you assign a resource into your activity will occur only if it has material, money, and people, and equipment. Equipment may work every day, but special calendar to your resource, we do not have any resource here. If you have a special calendar for your resource, even continuous, the activity will work only when it has its resources. It's logical. But we are not planning resource here. Okay, you are not planning resource, so you may set your activities with their specific calendar. These site-offs will obey commercial calendar. But okay, activities may happen every day, every hour, every time. They are not forbidden to be done. But as I'm not using here in CPM methodology, I can say it's for calendar. This OFC, site OFC won't occur on Fridays, Sundays, and Saturdays, or Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Do you understood the difference, Rafael? You planning in CPM without using resource, you may schedule according to, you may apply calendars, special calendars, to your activities. But if you plan with resource, the problem, the constraint is not the activity. The constraints are calendars, number of people, number of equipment, quantity of materials. They will be the activity constraints. That's okay for you, Joseph and Mamani.
Yes, it's okay.
Imagine if you understand this conception, you take Microsoft projects, set commercial calendar for all your activities, and when you apply resources, you make some special calendar to your resource, into your resource. And when you calculate it, it will become a mess of dates, legs, splits, because activities, when you work with resource, should be set with Joseph main calendar here. 24 hours. 24 hours. Drop down. Everybody's 24 hours. When you apply, Smith working here, and he works just on Mondays. 3 days will be placed as 3 weeks in the calendar, start, finish, setting. Although you can make your site-offs in 3 days, in 5 days. 5 days means 5 multiplied by 24 hours. Because Joseph said here 5 days. How many hours does it mean? Duration, hours, hours remaining. Calculate. 40 hours is not 5 days. 40 hours means 1.67 days, because a day has 24 hours. Do you understand the difference? If I go back to the 8 hours calendar and we calculate, we will have the 5 days. 5 plus 8 means 40. That's okay for you? Joseph? Mamani and Rafael. Okay. Where is activity 2? Okay. Back to our layout. So we talked about creation time. Just for an illustration, I will push it to the first column, because the most important is ALAP, understanding linkings, free float, because we're talking about CPM, please. Free floats, free floats, total floats, calendar, critical. It's a question of after calculation. You cannot set, I think it is critical. No, you do not manage it. Start, finish, just to keep. Okay, how do I, according to Mamani's first question, how do I link it? Let's see my PowerPoint. If I am on the trail. Okay, my there are 2 other important constraints I have to talk to you. The first panel on the left, on the right panel, I will keep here. Start net. Start net means not earlier than. It's a constraint. I can work every day, every time, every walk, every hour, but somebody told me you cannot start earlier than 1st of May or May 1st. And there is another constraint here, finish not later. What is it? Finish not later. Is it frequent to you? Is it by day or Mamani? You cannot start earlier than, you cannot finish later than. Is that common to your life? Is that frequent?
Not starting. Starting net. It's something we've probably encountered on my past project.
Which is more often for you, Joseph and Rafael? Do not start before or do not finish later.
It's normally do not finish later.
Mm-hmm. There's interesting, Joseph, there's interesting thing here. According to the calculation here, 21st, November 21st. Okay, Control C, Control V. It was scheduled. And this is what I had as an order. Do not finish later than what you said. Okay, but imagine if some change, some revisions, some update was made here and it changed from 5 to 7 days. Calculating 20/50th, 25 against 21. You should not finish later than, but you are finishing now 25. It's no problem here. Do you agree with Joseph?
Yes, I agree. So meaning that date to
In
change.
in Gantt diagram, you see a tiny yellow triangle here. Can you see it? Okay, it's very small, just an indication. Okay, I will reschedule again. And although, Mamani and Rafael, although somebody told me 21st, it is finishing 25 because it's real. This line is real. The reality is, I don't mind what do you think or you order it or you command it. It will finish on 25 because Spider do not lie, doesn't. Spider does not lie to you. It says what is real. In projects, when you make a must finish, everything comes into a mess here, and the beginning comes to the past sometimes, and it's a complete confusion. But you can see that your deadline is here. When you say start not earlier than, okay, 17, Control C, Control V, okay, you can see a tiny, nice yellow triangle here at the beginning. Make thumb up if you can see it. See. Thumbing up. Okay, Rafael is a heart. Okay, and let's schedule again. If I say do not start earlier than 20, the triangle moves for the future. Okay, reschedule. Spider obeyed this command, do not start earlier. He obeyed it because it does not make an error to your schedule. It's a constraint, a begin constraint, a start constraint to your mobilization. But I had to finish. You desire to finish. You were instructed to finish not late. You're not able to do it. The only way to accomplish this date is to reduce your duration. If you imagine just 1 day for mobilization, calculate it. Okay. You see the triangle, small triangle, starting not earlier than, and the last final date is 21st. But as you work just 1 day, you are before you're not finished later. So, Control Z, keeping 7 days, Spider or calculations, obey earlier than, because it is possible. But it doesn't obey the target finish later than, because it's impossible. Spider won't give you wrong answers. I think Primavera also has this responsibility. But Microsoft Project makes wonderful results, and it makes you obey without being truthful. Okay, Rafael, say.
Do we have any column to put if is trespassing this date?
Yes, you make here a new column, new fields. New fields, okay? Double click new fields, name, codes, numerical, because these dates, the finish dates and the finish not late are not compatible. They are not fetching each other. Please make a formula, calculate the difference, and if the and your user fields will show you the difference. If the difference is positive, because you are okay with your obligation. If the difference is 0, okay, you're okay with obligation. If the difference is negative, you are under threat of dismissing, to be dismissed. Of course, it's a number. You may change it, double click, you may change it into a signal. Signal is color. I mean, instead of a number, it may become a red signal, a green signal. It may be much more logic, more didactic to understand what's happening. Just keeping an eye on the column. Okay? But it's not our case today. I think I finished with my duty. The set of ASAP, succeeding, preceding, floats, critical, calendar, and these two last constraints. I made it in 3 steps because these constraints are more intense and more common. These information and these constraints are also useful and more frequent. And these last one possible, and sometimes they use it to press you on your work. To finish and be very short, how do I link Mamani? I take the line of my activity graphic diagram, my graphic element, and make this link pressing and dropping the mouse here. You will see that it will appear an arrow, a black arrow here. And if I take this line and link it to the third here, a new arrow is shown here to make you understand the linking. Of course, you have to calculate CPM. CPM calculation or CP calculation, money calculation over what, okay, CPM calculation. Just press OK, and you see the sequence, and these 2 days are not work days, so even if it is a continuous work, it will skip, because you said, although it's continuous, it is continuous under the rules of my predefined calendar. Mamani, this activity commands finish to start this one. And this one commands finish to start this one. The arrows were drawn, and I will calculate again. Why don't they calculate it? Because everything calculated here makes the CPU has an effort, a work. And Spider, just calculate when you commands in order to keep and preserve energy. Okay, Joseph?
Okay, so I've seen you using the web to do the linking, but there are some activities that you don't have to finish before you commence somewhere. Let's say the earthworks. I'm doing the sub base. I don't need to finish 100 kilometers of sub base before I do the base. I can do maybe 300 meters of sub base and then come to commence the base. But if you drag the web, it comes to the beginning. Can't it come to show that I didn't complete everything, but I'm starting from the middle.
Instead, finish starts, you want to make a different way of linking.
Yes, that is
Okay.
it. So,
Okay.
like start to start, but it starts from the middle, somewhere in the middle.
Okay. The way I showed you is the easiest way to link. But if you try to re-link, I've linked this one with this one. But if I try to re-link, they will show, Spider will show you this screen. I mean, finish starts. It's the property of this link. Finish starts because it's usual. No, I don't want finish starts. I will use properties. The properties are too extensive. It's too rich. And they say, I don't want finish to start. I want start to start, but not at the beginning, at the middle. Middle. How long this activity lasts? 5 days. 5 days. Half days divided by 2 give us 2.5 days. Am I correct? Okay. Okay. Please, starts, calculate. Do you see that this activity was drawn back into the middle time of fencing, according to what you asked for? I mean, again, I will link again the same thing. Start, leg 2.5 days, according calendar. Remember, always under the rules of the calendar chosen. Okay, properties. I want starts in the middle time of my activity. I want to start at the middle volume. What do I say? Working on 100 square meters of my new floor. I want to start the next activity at the same time. I will start my next activity when I have 50% half, 50% of my volume done. I will start fixing my new floor, and when I reach 50%, not the time, because time is relative. I may be very productive in the first part, or when I have 50% of my 100 square meter, I will start my second activity. Okay. Where is calculate? Calculate CPM. Calculate. Okay. Again. Calculate. The same, because it's the same place, because Spider believes that these 5 days for 100 square meters will happen 2.5 days for 50%, 2.5 days for 50%. But during your work, during the execution phase, you may spend 2 days and have done nothing. This schedule start finish sets will be changes, because even if you have 2 days, you won't start in the middle, in the half of this time. You'll be postponed for the future because you have nothing done. The square meter will be done in the last 3 days. So it will start here. Last 3 days, 100 meter, 1.5 day, it will be rescheduled for the future. Do you understand the difference between scheduling properties, scheduling by leg of days and leg of production? That's the only tool that allows you to model. The planner or the scheduler is responsible for making the reality or the intentions into the paper, into the screen. If he's not able, if the tool is not complete enough to model what you need, the tool is not complete. You have to make some workarounds. 5 days, 100%. 2.5 days, 50%. So I will make a lag of 2.5 days. But if I start to work and I do not anything, I have to re-lag another 3 days, another 3.2 days, because you will be forced to calculate percents according to time to set it. It is a complete how do I say, a completely
Dismiss.
yes. So there are other different way of linking, but I want another. There are other different features here, but I want to talk about it now. Mamani, you know how to link things, and if you decide to make finish, just link one, calculate. I don't start, I want finish, re-link, open the properties and choosing properties, finish to finish, okay, close, reschedule, finish to finish. You see the right, the black link here. But we have another way of linking things. Take these and these. Click, shift, click. From line 36, shift to line 37. Click 21, shift to line 37. Please note, just the activities were highlighted. You won't link products, deliverables, work package. Okay, Rafael? And if you set line 21st, shift, click on line 27, and click on the right to look for what to do, link. There are some lines selected. I may link everybody as a chain or delete every link between them. Okay, I will delete all the links that exists here. Recalculating, okay, no links. If I decide to click on line 21, shift line 23, right click, link as a chain. Okay, calculate, link as a chain. Mamani, there is the second way of linking things without moving spiders, moving mouses and dropping graphic elements. Another thing that you may use. Third way of linking things. Line 22. Line 22 has a relationship with line 21 and a relationship with line 23. Double click on line 22 and you see properties, activities properties, and additional links. This panel shows me line 22 or plumbing and drainage, depends on before electrical installation and goes to HVAC fire system. and successors activities. This one, click this one and you see finish starts, no lag, calendar. I mean, I'll talk about it later. Preceding, lag, no lag, codes, calendar, and HVAC is succeeding my plumbing and drainage. Plumbing and drainage. Okay, and there is no lag before or preceding this activity. The third way of creating links is shown now. There is another activity that precedes and drainage. Okay, adds another activity preceding. ADMOFC start. Okay, preceding, no lag, obeying the link, obey this calendar. We are going to talk about this in a minute. And another successor, not only HVAC, but also the finish for my project. The third way of linking activities is this one, okay? If you recalculate, probably you see the new link is here. Remember, linking things, calculating things allows you to see the blue fields. Floats, no floats, critical. No floats, critical. Floats, no floats, I mean total floats. It's a field that indicates you, we'll see on Friday, much more configuration for layouts. We won't see this today. I mean, it is not our target to talk about Gantt diagram, but you see that the diagram is being completed and is being developed because our activities attributes. Let me say if I don't. Okay, yes. Do you know that sometimes when you have a leg, when you have a link with a leg, this leg of 2 days, but which days are these days? I mean, you painted a wall here, painting walls, and then you will fix some structures. Struck two structures. When you paint your walls, Joseph, when you paint your walls, you have to wait for some time in order to wait for the paint to dry, okay?
To dry.
Okay, I will re-link it. And you say finish start, properties, with a lag of 24 hours. I want to finish my painting, is wait for 24 hours, a lag. Okay, I paint and then I will fix. But I have to wait for 24 hours. Okay, let's calculate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days here. But 24 hours is just 1 day. Okay. Relinking properties. Which calendar these 24 hours must obey? Double click. Okay, where is it? Select the calendar. the calendar of 24 hours, the drying has no holidays. The drying has not to obey Saturdays and Friday and Sundays. So if you fix the proper calendar for your leg and then recalculate, it will obey 24 hours. But wait a minute. You finish on 16 o'clock and should wait 24 hours. Okay, that's right. But we have 2 days and 16 hours here because this activity must obey its calendar time. And this activity must obey its calendar time. And they do not work on Saturday and Friday. But your painting or your drawing time is being kept here. Did you understand that modeling, Mamani? You don't find it in Microsoft Project. Microsoft Project use the calendar for the leg according to activities calendar. You cannot model this kind of thing. Imagine if your activities work every hour a day and every day in a week, or if you have a specific calendar for your activity, but you have to wait a leg. In a specific other calendar, imagine I have a leg of 3 days from one activity to another. And this leg means some public departments work to be done outside. So this leg means 3 days of their work. But their calendar means we do not work every day on Mondays. So 3 days of leg means 3 weeks in your leg. So this leg represents the waiting you have for the public department, and the public department has its own calendar, different from your projects. Okay, I think it's a very interesting and very useful resource feature we have in our 2 Spider projects. Seeing that, I think you work completing your actual version, promoting another version, and as soon as you finish, publish it, and please give us the upload to web to see your links, your main information, the date, start, finish, calendars, because on Spider environments, I can see every detail, but in web, I can see the results, even the Gantt charts you are going to produce without talking about Gantt chart today. We saw it because it's the easiest way of linking is just linking by dragging and dropping and calculate, of course. Okay? Any questions that I could help you now? Although we have our Telegram chat open.
So we'll be waiting for the video, and then when it comes, the things that we think we didn't grasp in the beginning, and then we'll use it to do the assignment.
Okay. Next Friday we'll keep an eye just on Gantt diagram. There are a lot of adjust, a lot of sets, coloring, marking, and applying some warnings into this graphic, into this diagram. That will be interesting. Okay, Joseph, tell us what's about your ideas.
So I saw that in the works that you just did now in Spider, we have 3 columns. We have the column that have the name part, Mamani, can you listen?
Three
We have the
columns.
column that have the name part, and then we have the column that has the date, and then the other sections, and then we have the Gantt chart section. The works you did now, I saw that yesterday, the ones we did, the quantity, the unit of volume, and all those things, we brought it to where the name is. Correct?
Mm.
But what you just did now, I think you put some in the name column, and then you came to put the next one in the other section. I don't know if I don't know if you got the understanding, but let me share my screen so I can explain very well.
Okay. When you say three columns, are the three panels or the columns here?
Yes.
The three panels. So this is one panel.
Wait a minute. Okay.
This
The
is
first
one panel.
on the left panel, okay.
Yes, and yesterday the assignment we did, everything was in the left panel.
Uh-huh.
And I'm asking, this morning when I opened my file, I saw that you recreated another one with the 4,000 version,
Mhm.
4,000. And then you brought some of the activities you just did today in the same left panel.
Because 4,000 versions just drafts, a draft place
Yes.
to make something.
Yes. So when do we get to use this middle panel?
When do you desire?
Okay,
I'm
so
not
does it
using.
mean
I'm
does
not
it
using
mean
just.
this particular assignment you are giving us, I can do it in the middle panel?
Yes, I'm not using because I showed you the black column. The black column. I mean, although you have two panels, you may also develop some kind of other divisions. I mean, just to be didactic.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you so much.
I think they should allow us to have more panels because these panels could be resized, they can be hidden. I think it's better than just two panels, okay?
Okay.
Do you see that your non-critical are green
Yes.
and my non-critical are blue?
Yes, I've seen it.
Because your spider was configured in colors according to what you want.
Okay.
I prefer to be blue because when to talk to other people that just use Microsoft projects, they are used to see blue, not green. When you talk to people that use Primavera, that's very easy to them to understand non-critical as green because Primavera has this pattern of colors. But there's another thing. Your WBS structure is colored by specific colors. Pink, yellow, or this kind of colors you want. Or gray, as you use direct work and direct work. But I think when I fix my spider colors, it's not an advice, not a one, not a rule. I used to pick all my WBS levels as black because Microsoft project has by default black for the WBS. So I make it so close as Microsoft project presents as possible because it makes people understand better, easier our data, our information. When they see colored things, they do not understand.
Okay.
Okay, Joseph and Mamani, I think the next future meetings, Rafael will have to leave before we finish because we are spending much more time. We are spending more time than I expected, not just 1 hour. And he has to work, of course. Somebody has to work here. Okay, but I like Joseph. I like the example you gave for as late as possible. I will use it here. The street lamps here, we
Yeah.
cannot make as soon as possible, because if you do, it's usual here, but I have never thought about planning this activity as late as possible. I think after finishing the projects, I would install the lamps. Okay. After finishing the project. Okay, Maman and Joseph,
Okay.
nice
Thank
to
you
see you
so
again.
much.
Thank you. Okay.
Telegram is open to any question.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I have.